Greetings one and all, and welcome back to the Awaken to Ascend YouTube channel. It's early in the morning here and I'm in one of my favorite places to come. This is a little park that has a grove of redwoods, a little family of redwoods. And I love to come here for grounding. This is the most grounding, possibly the most grounding spot I've ever been in. Maybe not this spot in particular, but being near the redwoods is a whole different experience. Last night I came here and I grounded and I connected with the trees, and it was a magical experience. They took me in as one of their own. I connected my roots to their roots, and they showed me what it feels like to be a tree. It felt so grounding. It felt like I was unshakable, like there was nothing that could move me from where I was standing. And I think that's how these trees feel. They feel like where they're standing is where they're going to be, and whatever the outside world throws at them, they just take it. They know how to take it. They can take it. Sorry if you hear some construction noises over there. This park is full of people. Maybe they're drawn to the grounding as well. There's a bunch of redwood trees all over here. Look at all that. But yeah, and I think there's a lesson in there, right? When you stand in your power, when you stand firmly planted with your roots in the ground, nothing can shake you. They're going to throw everything at you. They're going to throw wind, rain, sleet, snow, hail, lightning. They're going to throw it all. And if you're going to be like, oh no, I'm scared, well, you're going to live life scared, waiting for these things to happen. But if you're so grounded and so planted and so sure of yourself, knowing that whatever is thrown at you is something that you can handle, is something that you will face with all of your soul, then the outside world doesn't matter. I think that's what I'm learning too. Today is Valentine's Day, and usually I don't really care about this holiday. It's another, corporate thing. I don't think we should be paying too much attention to these holidays that are designed to get us to be in the ego. On the surface, it's like, oh, it's a love holiday. It's about love, but no, it's a lot of ego here. A lot of people who aren't in relationships are thrown into ego because they feel like they're not enough, that there's not enough love in their life. Oh, look at this dog. Hey there. But those in relationships are like, they feel like they have to do something, whatever it is. I don't even know. They feel like they have to do something. So it just puts people into the ego. And when we're in the ego, that is the time when we need our grounding the most. That is time for us to ground. So how do you ground? Like I said, I like to connect with trees. That's a great way. I like to touch trees. Like you just feel their energy. You feel how solid they are, how sturdy they are, how unbothered they are, how sure of themselves that they are. If I give this tree love, it will accept it gladly. But if I don't give this tree love, it doesn't care. It doesn't need me. And I think that's a beautiful reflection for today, for Valentine's Day, for grounding. We think that love is another person giving us their time, their attention, their energy, But I'm learning that that's not what love is. When someone gives you their time, their attention, their energy, that is just a reflection of your love. You love that person. You're putting your love into that person, and they're reflecting it back to you. So whatever you're putting out, your partner's going to reflect back to you. 100%. But what if you're ungrounded? What if you got traumas? What if you're unhealed? What if you've got triggers from childhood that your partner brings up in you? That's when relationships get difficult. A lot of us, especially people my age, have been so inundated with their traumas. It follows them in every relationship. They repeat the same patterns over and over and over. Yet they don't want to look at their triggers that caused it. They don't want to look at their traumas that caused it. And so they just replay the same cycle, a vicious cycle, because they're not learning the lesson. I think all of us do that too. That happens to all of us. That's not a unique thing to some people. I think we engage in relationships, not necessarily just romantic ones, but we engage in all sorts of relationships. And the idea behind them is to reflect back to us, reflect ourselves back to us. So we're always seeking love outside of ourselves. You know, I need this person to love me. But what are you really saying? You're saying, I need self-love. I don't love myself enough. If you were secure like this tree, if you were so secure in the love inside of you, and just like this tree doesn't need my love, but it will accept it, I think that's what we're trying to accomplish here as humans, is to have so much self-love that we have extra to give. And we have extra to give, that extra gets reflected back to us. Right? The reason you love your partner is because you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't love your partner. That's just how it works. I think that's very important to remember on this holiday. How so many of us are completely ungrounded, detached from ourselves. We don't love ourselves fully. And so we engage in relationships where that's reflected back to us. And then there's pain, because that relationship's trying to show us where there's a lack of self-love. There's a lack of grounding. There's a lack of knowing who you are. That's why the divorce rate's so high. That's why so many people struggle. And a lot of people, they get so triggered that rather than, when the relationship reflects back to them a lack of self-love, they put that onto their partner. They don't see it as themselves. We all do this, my friends. We all do this. They don't see that lack of self-love as their self-love. They see the lack of love coming from their partner. And so what people will do will say, well, that person's not right for me. Maybe that person was perfect for you. You just didn't have your self-love yet. And if one person in the relationship doesn't have self-love, that means the other person doesn't have it either. Because it takes two to tango. It's all a reflection. We attract relationships into our lives to show us ourselves. And so in order to do that, we have to attract people who resonate with ourselves, have our similar trauma, similar energy, similar amount of self-love. That's what we do. This is all an adventure. It's all a game. And it's a game to see if you can beat the game, beat the final boss, really. The final boss is yourself. It's your darker aspects. If you can beat your shadows, that's Bowser. You know, the princess is not in any other castle. You've done it. So relationships are a tool. They really are. And they should be treated as such. They should be treated as a mirror reflection of yourself. If something's not right in your relationship, then something is not right in you. You can't blame the other person. It's so easy to blame the other person. It's what we do as humans. When we let our ego run the show, it's like that person did this, that person did that. And we refuse to look at who we are and how we created that. And then we jump into a different relationship thinking the other person was the problem, only to discover that we were the problem, and the relationship cycle continues. The same issues, the same hurdles, the same obstacles keep coming up. And then we say, that person's not good for us. Let's find another person. We just go from person to person trying to find the perfect setup, when the perfect setup would be for you to heal, for you to be right, for you to stop bringing triggers and traumas and inadequacies and inefficiencies into your own loving relationships, because your partners don't deserve that. Sure, they're on their own healing journeys, and they signed up to learn the same lessons you did in that relationship. But still, we have to treat each other nicely. And that starts with self-awareness. So I've been doing a lot of healing on what all my relationships have brought up. And that's why I'm making this video. I can see it now. You know, it's hard to see, guys. But when you've had a really traumatic experience, it really brings out the learning, the teaching, the understanding. So that's just what I want to say today. I want to say thank you to these trees for being so majestic. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for checking out my website. The blog is there. The phone calls are there. If you want to check that out, so that's awakentoascend.com. And I want to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day, whether you celebrate it or not. And I would suggest you use this day to really self-reflect rather than reflect on your partner, because they're just a reflection of you. And if you don't have a partner, that's a self-reflection as well. Maybe you don't need a reflection right now. So don't get down on yourself. We're all in different stages and different parts of this journey and different learnings. So it's all an adventure. So that's it for me today, guys. I want to thank you again. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this if you feel so inclined, and have a happy Valentine's Day. Love you guys. Bye.